Okay, guys, I want you to watch and listen to this vision so you can share your thoughts and mind about it. I received this vision 2 days ago, and I feel it's very important to share it now so everyone can receive this message, most especially to those living in the United States. Well, if you have anyone living in the United States, I think this is the time for you to share this message out there for them to know what the Lord is trying to tell them. Okay, what the Lord is trying to say. This actually has to do with a flu or a pandemic that is about to hit the United States and beyond borders, not just part of America. This is actually the whole of the United States. But, based on the information I received from the vision, I keep asking myself this question: that do you think it's important for the government of the United States to close borders to immigrants that are trying to come in? Because some way, somehow, this actually has to do with the immigrants. Okay, I'm not saying this is the cause of immigrants that are coming into America, but based on the information and the vision, it has to do with people that are coming in, aliens that are coming into the country. So I want you to stay tuned and listen as I read the vision out. Now, if this is your first time watching a video on this channel and you love Christian content, I humbly ask that you subscribe to this channel and also make sure you share this video with your friends and family so that they may also receive the message of the Lord. It is my hope and prayer that you stay with me to the very end of this video to have a clear insight of the message. No part has been taken out and nothing has been added to the story. Now, if you have any dream or vision or any message from the Lord you would also want to share with us, just feel free to pick up the email address below. Okay, and then you can record a video of yourself narrating your dream or your vision, and then we're going to share it out. Okay, so just relax as I proceed with the reading of the vision. Hi, Great Miracles Avenue. Please allow me to introduce myself as Beatrice. I don't know how to say this, so I don't sound as if I have the intention to put fear in your audience. But again, it's not about me, but what God have revealed to me. At the age of 3, my kid sister had been diagnosed with a terminal illness. And despite the best efforts of the medical team, her condition continued to deteriorate. I watched over her regularly as she lay in the hospital bed, feeling utterly helpless in the face of her suffering. On the 13th of December last year, my sister was admitted once again, and I was by her side all throughout the 5 days she was in the hospital. 2 days after she was admitted, I was sitting by her side as she slept. I was worried and was silently praying for her healing. Despite the late hour, I found myself strangely alert, devoid of any drowsiness or fatigue. And then in an instant, everything changed. A sudden intense flash of light pierced through the hospital room. And for a moment, I was blinded by the light, and this caused me to recoil in shock. Then as the light became less intense, I realized that I was no longer in the hospital. I was nowhere close to my sister. Instead, I found myself standing in a place that seemed different from the physical realm. This place didn't look like the real world. It actually looked like a different planet or something. I don't know how to put this, but then I could see the Statue of Liberty. I was able to recognize it. Then out of nowhere, I found some people around me. For some strange reason, I felt like my kid sister was there too. Even though I didn't see her, it was strange because we never talked, but I knew she was with me. I could feel someone was by my side, but I can't tell who it was. As I observed the scene around me, I noticed the statue was split into 2 halves, and people were coming out of the statue. These people looked like they were in a vulnerable situation. As I watched carefully, the people I saw weren't Americans. They were aliens. They looked like they were coming from somewhere. There were so many of them. Then I saw the US Army trying to prevent people from coming out of the statue that has been split. They set a border around the statue, but things got out of control later on. These aliens, so many in numbers, got mixed up with the civilians, and they were taking pictures and touring around. Some were sitting on benches nearby, chatting and reading books, while others were walking around admiring the view. I saw children running around playing games, and families were enjoying picnics on the grass. I began to have this unsettling feeling flash over me, like an impending danger in the air. Despite my attempts to shake off this feeling, it persisted. Suddenly, I could hear a distant sound, a deep rumble, like a mighty wind on the approach. It grew louder, filling the air with its terrifying sound. This was coming directly from the shores of the sea. Everyone around became frightened as they ran in every direction. The wind was so mighty that it blew in every corner of America. But as the wind force came upon us with its full force, something extraordinary happened. In an instant, I found myself elevated above the chaos, watching from a point high above the chaos below. I realized I was no longer among those seeking shelter, yet I was not alone. By my side stood a presence, unseen yet so real. As the big wind came, it seemed to wreck everything in its path. Buildings shook, almost falling. It felt like the ground itself was being turned over. Dust and debris blew everywhere, making it hard to see and move. For what felt like a long time, the wind kept moving, wrecking stuff and making everything a mess. After the wind went away, we saw how much of a mess it made. Every house had dirt and stuff inside. Even if people tried to protect their homes, people had to clean up the mess. What surprised me was the fact that no one seemed to see what was coming. People just went about their businesses, cleaning up after the big wind. In a short moment after, I could see people beginning to be affected. It spread quickly, like wildfire, infecting anyone who breathed it in. Soon, people were falling ill left and right, showing symptoms similar to a severe flu. More and more people succumbed to the effects of the epidemic. Hospitals were quickly overwhelmed with patients. It was like a nightmare unfolding before my eyes, and I felt helpless as I watched the chaos unfold around me. This was displayed on all television channels and on the news. News reports confirmed my worst fear, and that the new deadly disease was spreading rapidly, claiming many lives in just a matter of days. I feel shaken as I continue to write this. I am so down and nervous. On the news, parts of Mexico and Canada were already heavily affected by the disease. For the first time, the person I thought was my sister spoke, but her voice was unfamiliar. It wasn't her. It was someone entirely unknown to me. She never introduced herself to me, but went ahead to reveal to me some truth. She spoke to me with a certain kind of wisdom. It was easy to comprehend what she was saying, but it was difficult to understand her words exactly the way she had said them. As she spoke, she gestured towards a nearby building teeming with scientists. Their fervor and dedication to finding a solution to the outbreak were evident, but she emphasized that human efforts alone would be futile in the face of such an evil widespread. Every endeavor, no matter how well mentioned, would prove fruitless unless God intervened. The battle against this outbreak transcended mere physical efforts. It was a spiritual warfare that demanded divine intervention. After the vision, I kept thinking where this pandemic will actually come from. What will be the cause? Will this be from the immigrants invading the US for refuge, or an evil wind sent in from the shores of the sea by the devil? Please help me interpret this. I need discernment. I lost my sister a few days after this. She couldn't withstand the pain she was going through anymore. She left to be with the Lord. Since that day, there hasn't been a day with me not shedding tears about my sister's demise. Could her death mean something related to what the Lord had shown me? Please kindly share this with your community so prayers can be made for the nation of America. I still feel some evil wind is about to blow the whole of America and beyond. God bless you all. Okay, so this is not a good news. This is a sad information coming in from a sister called Beatrice, who happens to live in the United States. She claimed that God gave her a vision while she was seated near her sick sister. And in a vision, just like I have already narrated, It has to be like a flu or a pandemic that is about to hit the people of the United States. This is a sad news. And, we don't want what happened way back in 2020, which was the COVID. I don't think we're expecting something like that to happen again, because COVID took a lot of lives, okay? And we don't know what is ahead of us. But since God has revealed this to us, I think the most important thing is for us to pray to God, for God to rebuke this, because obviously this is not coming from the Lord. This is something which is man-made, or it's coming from the devil. And anything that is not coming from the Lord is not authorized by the Lord. And anything that is not authorized by the Lord means that our prayers as humans can rebuke such a thing, okay? So whatever the devil has planned against the people of the United States and beyond, based on her vision, she said this was beyond the borders of America. It was spreading out to Canada and then Mexico. So COVID started somewhere in a particular country and later on spread across the whole world. This is not something that has to do with the people of America alone. Wherever you are in the world, we need to start praying that if there is any second pandemic that is coming, just like COVID, we need to start praying now so the Lord can stop this thing, because we don't want to lose more lives. We need to win more souls for the Lord, okay? There are a lot of souls that are dead and they never receive salvation. So imagine people, thousands of people dying without receiving salvation. Definitely they are going to end up in hell, and that is not our priority as Christians, okay? We as Christians, we need to preach the gospel out there to people so they can be saved. Now, if these people are going to die because of this pandemic, then who are we going to preach the salvation message to, the good news message to? Okay, so we need to pray for our sisters and brothers. It doesn't have to be for only your family. We need to intercede for people out there. We need to pray for everyone wherever they are located. Whatever the plans of the devil, once we pray, our prayers is going to stop all the plans of the devil. Our prayers is going to serve as a weapon to cast away all the demonic and evil plans of the devil. The Bible says we do not wrestle against the physical realm, okay? Everything has to be in the spiritual realm. So how are we going to face this in the spiritual realm without praying? The only way we can face the devil in the spiritual realm is by we praying, okay? So please and please, wherever you are, I keep saying this channel is centered on the foundation and principles of Jesus Christ. I'm not going to give you any advice to fight anyone. I'm not going to give you any advice to, just like I said earlier on, I don't know if this has to do with people, the immigrants that are trooping into America, but this has nothing to do with any physical thing. You don't have to fight against any immigrant you see on the streets of America or any alien you see on the street of America. The best thing as Christians that we need to do is to pray to the Almighty Lord to stop this from coming out, okay? All right, so thank you very much for joining me. If you have any opinion, if you have any interpretation, just like our sister stated that she needs an interpretation based on the vision that she received. So if you have anything to say, just feel free to leave a comment below in the video so that others can also read, okay? So thank you very much. God bless you. And do not forget to subscribe and also share this video with your friends and family. God bless you.